Hey there everybody, I'm John Siskovich, looking mighty bearded in the cinematic mode on my camera. I have a pig who's about to have some babies, hopefully. I'm a first time pig dad, so I think everything's going all right. She's too fat. We're gonna walk around the barnyard today. I'm gonna do some linger grazing, do a little update. It is the first day of February 2022, and I'm due to catch you up on where things are. And let's jump right into it. So I just gave her some kitchen scraps. I keep a 5-gallon bucket for compost in my kitchen, and we just make sure that no pork products get in there and no chicken products get in there. Those have to go into a dumpster for now because my compost pile my dog can get into, and we're not pro cannibalism. So chickens wise, they have a nice dry area underneath the coop. Otherwise they're roaming around. We can kind of linger graze and see our ground where the snow built up some drifts. There's Mr. Zip over there, where I've shoveled out, so it's easy for them to walk through. But then there's some areas where it's nice and thin and it's easy for the birds to get around. I've been making sure that they have plenty of feed and fresh water. I don't do any kind of feed restriction, especially in the winter, because this is not an indoor heated space, so I want them to have as many calories as they can get to. I'm not too worried about production because my production comes from my brewery, and you have to layer on that level of perspective when you judge your system against my videos. Now, Miss Piggo over here, I have overfed, and doing some research and hearing from friends, hi Heather Joelle, she's over fat. So we call her Big Mama, and now she really puts the big in Big Mama. Being a first-time mom, some of my concerns there are that she'll have more difficulty pushing. But once she has babies, I'm not worried about her having enough energy to breastfeed. Any mom who has breastfed knows that your children will just suck the life out of you. So she'll thin up a little bit, and I have done a fair amount of research into my proper pig weights and feeding regimen for pregnant sows and just feeder pigs in general. And so that's something I will be adjusting going forward, so that I don't have overages or waste, and none of my animals are too big to where they are unhealthy. So hoping all goes well. What I'm looking for is a bulge of babies right there, which she's filling out a little bit. We're getting pretty close. Like I can see just a little bump there. Oh yeah, you can even feel it right there. There's that bump. I keep an eye on the teats, which could be bigger. Not as like I need them to be bigger, but I think they're bigger. I think they're starting to fill up. Like right at the base here is a little wider. She's a little more baggier. And then you look at the vagina to see if it is large and gorged and ready to go. It is not yet, but the tips that I got from the pig farmers that I know is that I'll get a little bump here. I know a lot about chickens. Still learning on pigs. What a delightful, if nothing else, she's been a fun farm companion here. So chickens go through and pick out whatever the pig didn't want, and farm chores are pretty easy. Had to do a lot of shoveling. Shoveling's like mowing grass, where it just feels so useless because it's all gonna melt. But in the meantime, you want your animals to have access to feed and water. There's me not having fixed the feeder yet. And you want them to be able to walk around in the winter without too much trouble. Feeder's been working pretty good. The goats will pull out some waste, and for some reason they love to go to the bathroom around their feeder. So I haven't been putting all of that feed from the ground back on top. I sort it a little bit, but then I'll use that spent hay in the rest of their area, especially in the spots where they have a little bit heavier manure load. The electric fencing situation has worked pretty well for us. It's a Premier One PR50 solar charger that we adapted to hook up into AC power, which then goes around the interior of the run. The chickens have some spots where they can get out and do some dust bathing. Sorry, I'm gonna go a little easier on the camera switcheroos here. but the pig hasn't tried to touch the fence and mess with it. And all in all, through sub-zero temperatures, through crazy wind chills, which may be picking up on the microphone right now. Let me just turn out of the wind. Everybody's been doing all right. Linger grazing pretty easy in the winter. I've had some time to think about content, to think about my farm season, to fix things that are broken in the brewery, to get a little snowboarding in, which has been fun, and generally enjoying life and gaining perspective for the year and doing things like researching big fat pigs. Let me jump on the other side of this microphone. We'll say goodbye for today's linger grazing video. So if you made it to the end of this video, thanks for taking the time to listen. I have been producing podcasts again and publishing them. They're on iTunes, Stitcher, all the podcatching apps. If you look for the Growing Farms podcast, I'm starting where I've been recording episodes and pre-scheduling them monthly. So I know I have at least one a month coming out throughout the entire year. And then it'll be bi-monthly or like every other week. And then I'll keep filling it in as I can produce episodes. But that way I can keep consistent with content. I'm making some videos. I'm doing some podcasting. I've been posting on Instagram. I was thinking of Imager, which is another app I use, but it's not, I'm not publishing. I just lurk on there. And just generally enjoying farm life and trying out cinematic mode where everything is blurry behind me. And I'm in focus and it makes it look dramatic. I'm backlit right now. I'm on a selfie stick and I'm using a lavalier mic because this is Farm Marketing Solutions, where I'm doing a linger grazing video to give people an update about my farm, keeping it in the 5-minute realm, and then just letting you guys know what I've been up to. So podcasts, keep an eye out for those. Sign up for my email newsletter because I release content on different platforms sporadically because it's my side hustle. But when I release new content, I ping the email list and let people know where they can find stuff if you choose to listen to what I have to say. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'm just really relishing shooting this video and being out here because it's warm outside for New England, even though it looks snowy and crazy. And it has been so brutally cold outside lately where my mouth gets so frozen I can't talk well. And yeah, so hi to everybody. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Or until next time, I'll see you on the field. I have a catchphrase.